flow charts and watching all the TikToks. At this point, when I see it, I just scroll by. I really don't care anymore. When people started posting "I stand with Blake" hashtags, I was like, why is Molly Sims getting involved? Like,
Seriously, and I agree with you. You stand with Blake because she's a bigger star. You stand with Ryan Reynolds, and I agree. If it's going to help your career, listen, Housewives and Bravo people are the same way, right? I mean, we're going to all stand with Andy Cohen against Leah McSweeney, and you know what I mean? It's like it is what it is. Speaking of Bravo, what do you think of this happened last week, but what do you think of this whole Sutton slipping out, that you have infidelity and whoops, and I didn't mean to do it. Kyle has done an interview and said that Sutton, after that, she absolutely does not think this is unintentional. She absolutely thinks it's intentional. And when they stopped filming during like the scene, like I guess when they stopped filming, Sutton came over and was like, "Oh my God, I got so confused and I didn't realize what I said." So Sutton tried to apologize immediately after. Granted, we then have a confessional, which Kyle is not at. But these confessionals are filmed months later, where they say, "Are you talking about the Instagram and Mauricio slipping into DMs?" And she's like,
no.
"No." No, I love Sutton. I'm just saying, but let's just call it what it is. So do you think this is unintentional on Sutton's part?
I don't think anything Sutton does is unintentional. I think she is a very smart, shrewd reality TV star. I think she knows her job. She understands it. She shows up. And what I don't understand is like, for me, what annoyed me about that scene is like, Kyle does not hang out with Garcelle and Sutton. So it felt to me forced. To me, it felt like Garcelle needed to have a storyline, and Sutton was like, oh, let's invite Kyle because it'll give us something to talk about. I just don't see the three of them hanging out. I don't feel a connection between her and Garcelle. I know that her and Sutton have a connection, Kyle and Sutton, but the whole three of them getting together felt so forced to me. That bothered me more than her comment because I don't think Sutton accidentally said the word infidelity. She could have said cheating. She could have said allegations. She said infidelity. Infidelity is a big word, right? Like it's one of those big vocab words when it comes to cheating. It just feels like, to me, it feels bigger than someone cheating. And we've seen all the rumors. Lisa Vanderpump packed up. Remember, she had those, was it Brandy or was it Lisa Vanderpump that had all the Us Weeklies in her bag? Remember with Mauricio's cheating? This is not like new information. And, the way the man moved on so quickly. And again, I'm not saying men don't do that, but that also is questionable, right? You're going to Aspen, you're with your Dancing with the Stars partner. You're pretty like comfortable. You're not really a separated man. You're like jumping into dating right away. So I don't know.
Jumping into dating right away. And she also called Garcelle an asshole when Garcelle said, if you want to go be a lesbian, go be a lesbian. She just was with Morgan Wade again, like a day or two ago, which I'm over that. You're over Justin and Blake. I'm over her and Morgan. I don't care. I just don't care at all. But she called her an asshole. But I think the biggest thing, I don't know if you saw this article. This article came out and it's always a source, but it says a source has claimed that Kyle is, which I've heard, I mean, I've had Allison Dubois on the show. I've had a lot of people on the show that have said, Kyle is an actual producer on the show. Like we've heard this for years. Now, I don't know how the credits go, but like there's this article that came out that being a producer on the show, Kyle gets, control, and she's clearly number one on the call sheet, but she always gets a certain edit, and all the women are sick of it. This is what the source is saying, that the women are sick of it, that they're sick of her acting like a queen bee, and that they want to take Kyle down. And they're also sick of the fact that, we don't know what's going on with Morgan. She doesn't need to talk about that. Mauricio, did he cheat? Did he not cheat? Kyle doesn't want to talk about anything. And when she doesn't want to talk about it, she doesn't talk about it. Dorit doesn't want to talk about PK. You're going to be fired. So apparently, according to the source, the women are all gotten together and they want to take Kyle down, but because she doesn't have to do all these other things that they do, and they just don't know how because she's a producer on the show. And they said that production gave her a diamond necklace this Christmas, and all the other women got speakers.
Oh.
I guess like Bose speakers for your home. No, no pun intended to Bose. But I guess they got like Bose speakers and Kyle got a diamond necklace. So what do you
Okay.
think about it? Is this rumor true? Do the women want to take Kyle down because she's held to a different standard? I'm not leading you. I'm actually really curious as to your thoughts.
Hmm. I mean, listen, even if you led me, I kind of agree with you. So I feel like, you know, again, with the diamond necklace, are they lab created or are they real diamonds? Like that's what I want to know. I'm like, if NBC is not giving real diamond necklaces to anybody, let's be honest, with their budgeting and they're not giving out diamond necklaces. So it's
Well, this
probably,
apparently was from the production company Evolution and Alex Baskin, honey.
oh, they have money, honey. I know that. Okay,
Apparently.
so maybe it was real diamonds. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, does Kyle deserve it? This season, I would say no, but she has been on it for 14 seasons. And we've seen her relationship with Kim. We have seen her fallout with Kathy Hilton. We've seen all the stuff with Mauricio with the cheating before that she talked about. So she has let us in. I know people this season are like, oh, she's not telling us anything. But also, sexuality is also a kind of a minefield. So I want to give her some credit. But what annoyed me is her reaction to stuff. When Garcelle says, go out being a lesbian, she's like, oh, like clutching her pearls. Girl, you talked about questioning your sexuality a couple episodes ago. Don't act like this, like Garcelle said an F word. Like, she said lesbian. Like, you need to take it down a notch. Like, your reaction doesn't match.
And Garcelle has doubled down since then. And she's like, wait a second. She's like, there was a music video that you were in, probably to help sales. And this was a steamy, racy music video. And you spent every minute being photographed. You're at Craig's, for gosh sakes, with Morgan. Like, you're not like you're at Chateau Marmont. Like, your place. So this isn't like we're making this up. Like, did we forget the whole past 2 years?
Right. Right. We can't erase our memories. Like, it's one thing if like we didn't see Morgan and we just saw her in the tabloids and then you don't want to talk about her. I could understand that. But you brought her onto the show knowing after 13 seasons of doing the show, knowing what would happen when you bring a woman on when you're having issues in your relationship. You're going to tattoo your initials on her. I understand. You tattooed Kay and you thought she could write something else. What would she write when the words are K? Catatonic? That's with a C. Kryptonite. What is she going to write on her body with a K? She's going to write
Kim.
Kim. Like, what is she going to write on her body? So I just felt like that. I don't like when you're treating the audience like we're stupid. And yes, I've seen some of the homophobic comments. Some of these Bravo fans, they're not acting right. Like they're calling her Munchbox and so I don't like that. Like I'm never going to be okay with that. And pushing someone out of the closet never works. But I don't think that's what Garcelle was doing. I think Garcelle was just saying, babe, we all love you. We see you. Like, if you want to be a big old lesbian, be a big old lesbian.
Nobody cares.
Like, nobody cares. And you're also not, and again, this season, Garcelle does kind of bother me, but like, what she's saying is still true. And I love what Erica said. She's like, Garcelle says what we want to say sometimes, but we would never dare because we have that allegiance. Like we don't want to do that to Kyle. But Garcelle doesn't have that allegiance. So she's like, girl, why do the music video then? Right?
Yeah.
When I got caught in the whole Michael B. Jordan of it all, I could have done a TikTok the day all that news and said I made out with Mike. I could have made it a huge thing, but I chose not to. I chose to like not fuel it. Like you can fuel it. You know how the media works. Like she knew what she was doing with that music video. Like, come on.
I do know how. I mean, every time I'm in a whatever with
Right.
somebody, like with like a Kelly Dodd or something, I'm like, I'm not afraid, but I'm not gonna fuel this because I don't like fueling things that have like an end date. Like this podcast is successful because I work every day, not